The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Black 22. 55. Watch the flag. Hey, 5-0.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Jameis to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? But if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback.
And he's going to go down again. J.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Fielded at about the 28. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Smooth. Mike 50.
To throw on 2nd down, Eason. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Keelan Cole, the intended target. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. Past the 20. And now off to the races. Down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Tevin Coleman. His third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Colts take over first and 10. Let's go! Let's go!
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start first and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Eason. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Myles Garrett. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10.
Ready? Blue lady. Hey, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here. Flip it, flip it, flip it. Let's go.
Jameis now on 1st down. Looking deep for Hilton. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Eric Weddle's one of my favorite players in the league, Brandon. A guy that always seems to be in the right place at the right time, making a play on the football, and he has excellent hands, as we just saw there.
Let's go. You tighten up. Get it.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? They run. Devontae Freeman. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After 7-0 on EA Sports. sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Hey, we got to get this stop here.
Winston. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll be taken down, but first he gets deep into Indianapolis territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards. Here's Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw is Winston. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. 3rd and short yardage, Winston. This will be caught at about the 6. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. It's Coleman here. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you're...
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Tevin Coleman with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. To throw again. Eason. It's caught by Sanders. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
80 weapons.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
Hey, Alpha.
Hey, look. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Let's go, baby. They turn over. Get that ball. Let's get that ball.
Hey, rock fight.
On first down, Eason looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. He's got a man, complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Emmanuel Sanders, an 80-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. Gostkowski the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working out of the gun, Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 6 there on first. Throwing again, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Winston now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Winston now looking deep for Hilton. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.Y. Hilton as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it...
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
At their own
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guy.
And Jameis intercepted a third time. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
On the ready.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Let's go. Let's do this.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Looking to throw on second down. Eason. But that's complete to Sanders. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
On third down, Eason. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Always got some breathing room. A big play there for Minnesota. Give him 42 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Again, it's Miller. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Hey, Echo. Ready?
To throw on 2nd down. Eason. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Eason. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Ready. Black 25.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? You and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
1st down, Winston. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
At the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field. Check. Check. Hot route. Hot.
Hey, lock it.
2nd and 10. They'll let this thing go for Sanders. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Emmanuel Sanders, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his second touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep them in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a one-score game, but touchdowns on their last two drives, and now nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
It has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And the catch made by Hilton. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come on, D.
Back to throw. Eason, and off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And that will be incomplete.
There's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead, but at the same time, got it done. It'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. On second down now. It's Miller. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Winston. And he's got his man Hilton. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That one good for 24 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence you're...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Throwing on 1st down. Eason. And brought in by the tight end Cook. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 5. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Looking to throw. Eason. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 11. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now. Right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 35.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Yeah, they string that play out nicely. He stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They're looking to throw this. Winston. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
26 yards. And the Vikings first down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Today's final score.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. That'll do.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. know it's time to get it lit. We got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate.